Sylvie Martine sat in the small conference room and reflected on her life choices. It was barely noon, but it had already been a long day.
"He had no right to do what he did,"
Leonard Denmore said, anger in his tone.
"That was my friend he evicted, and with no cause."
Justin Hardy's eyes narrowed.
"I had plenty of cause. Let's talk about your friend trashing my property. Have you even read the lease you signed? I signed that for your daddy, who would never, ever have forcibly evicted a good friend,"
Leonard retorted. They continued on, but the world had sort of faded into the background because she had bigger problems, and they all had to do with the upcoming wedding of her best friend's brother. Serafina Jeffries was one of her two best friends in the world. Her younger brother, Zepp, was getting married in less than 2 months, and Sylvie didn't have a dress or a date. How many weddings had she been to since she graduated from college? 7. She'd been to 7 weddings. She'd been a bridesmaid 4 times. She hadn't even come close to putting on a wedding dress, hadn't gotten a hint of an engagement ring. And Zepp Guidry, Papillon's player, never kissed the same girl twice, was getting married. Sylvie was facing down 30. All her friends were married and having babies and building their families, and she was stuck.
"You still have to do things right,"
Leonard insisted.
"There are protocols for eviction. I should have been able to hire an attorney." "Like you have money for an attorney,"
Justin replied with a huff.
"You can barely pay your rent. You're lucky I'm not trying to evict you."
People were starting to notice. If she'd stayed in D.C., she would be just one more ambitious woman trying to make her way in the world. No one would question her single status. In fact, they would consider her young to think about settling down. Here in Papillon, she was practically an old maid, which shouldn't matter, but it did. Sometimes she wondered if she should run, pack a bag, catch a plane, and disappear. Her mama would worry, but she could send her a postcard every now and then, letting her know she was all right and sane.
"How am I supposed to present a raccoon with an eviction notice? It can't read," Justin replied. "I would love to see you get that raccoon a lawyer. That would go over great with the judge, although who knows, maybe you people have raccoon court. It wouldn't shock me."
Sane was important. Sane would be nice. Sane was hard to find here in Papillon. Somewhere outside this little Bayou town, there was a whole world where mayors were respected figures who were far more likely to deal with the press than to be forced to handle a conflict between a landlord and a tenant over a raccoon. "Come home," they'd said. "Take over the mayor's office. It'll be easy," they'd all told her. "It's mostly ceremonial."